recently bought the brand new release from Omar from School of Scents. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. He's released this called Mr. Fragrance. It is his take on a blue fragrance that still has, though, some niche qualities and for a reasonable price. I have to say I'm very impressed. Very fresh and very likable. I really like the concept of a affordable blue fragrance that is niche quality. I get a solid 8 hours longevity as well, which is very good. Altogether, a really good release from Omar.
The idea of our brand, Atrium Fragrance, is that we're aiming to be the best affordable niche fragrance brand for men. How it works is that, first of all, you've got to be a fragrance enthusiast, a collector. That's the crowd that our fragrances are made for. Have your solid foundation, first of all, your first 5 fragrances for every category that we discuss on this channel. And then when you want to enhance your collection, you come to us. We take established concepts in perfumery and take them to another level, make them more creative, interesting, and different. We use natural ingredients with a luxury blend, with a long-lasting performance, ease of wearability, and ease of lovability. So they're mass appealing fragrances with a creative twist. I'm a bit biased because I smelled our first 2 releases and I'm working on our 3rd one. Mr. Fragrance is almost completely sold out now, so get a sample or a full bottle in the link in the description below. Let's get started. Summer fragrances that I would give a perfect 10 out of 10 rating to. It is very difficult to get this rating for a summer scent. Summer fragrances are very difficult to become niche because oftentimes they may smell natural but don't last long enough, or they last long but don't smell very natural. So as an example of a natural but short-lasting fragrance might be something like Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. Of course, it's not niche, but it's their private blend line, which is sort of their attempt on niche. Or something that's too synthetic but long-lasting might be something like Parfum de Marly Sedley. To get a 10 out of 10 score as a summer fragrance, you have to have the blend. The ingredients have to smell natural and high quality. The performance has to be at least 8 hours, which is tricky for fresh fragrances designed for the heat. And you've got to feel like you can wear these fragrances for more seasons than just the summertime. So they have to feel wearable in both the spring and autumn is what I generally say. Because I know this topic can be so tricky, I've picked the 7 fragrances in my collection that I believe deserve a 10 out of 10 score to help you guys out. Some of them are affordable, some of them are more expensive. But if you just want the best of the best, this is a good place to start. You're not going to see some popular fragrances like Light Blue Intense or Versace House or even Chanel's Allure Homme Sport. Those are fragrances that are more in like the 8 and 9 out of 10 scores, even though they're some of my favorite fragrances. These are on another level. These are the best. Let's start off with the affordable in this list. Alexandria Fragrances Black Panther. For the amount you spend on the fragrance for the summertime compared to the quality, this cannot be beat. I spent £30 or £35 for 30 ml of this fragrance. Even if you spend £60 for 50 ml, it's easily worth it. This is a clone by Alexandria Fragrances of Bulgari's Tigar, which is a fragrance I think smells gorgeous but is overpriced. They have done this very well. It's about 90 to 95% similar, very long lasting, very much a niche quality fragrance for a really good price. And you get 8 to 10 hours longevity, medium amount of projection. You smell like a boss. This is a really good, simple, and synthetic, fair enough, but it's a very nicely blended and very high quality smelling grapefruit, sandalwood, and ambroxan scents, just like the original Tigar. I'm really hoping a lot of you watching this video will go and get this. You can sample their brand, but it's not that expensive. It's very safe. I think it's, if you like blind buying, this is a safe option. And I hope that a lot of you will be put onto it by me and will hopefully give us some credit in the comments down below. Let us know, guys. Speaking of affordable niche, here we have Mancera Cedrat Boise Intense. I got this for a steal, 60 ml for £60 from Parfum Dreams, which now that offer has disappeared. I'm not surprised. That's a steal for this fragrance. I told you guys in the last video, I do think this is potentially the best summer fragrance out right now. Not only because it's great for the summertime, but you buy this for a really good price and you just wear it as your signature. It is sort of like the Dior Sauvage of the fragrance community that other people don't know about. You will go and stand out with this fragrance. It is fresh, woody, leathery. It's got some fruity notes in here, smoky. It took what Cedrat Boise, the original, did well and just took it to another level. They really mastered this DNA. Cedrat Boise was never an Aventus clone in the first place, but now the Intense really has gone into its own direction. It's a lot more smooth, better blended, longer lasting. The new formulations of Cedrat Boise get you about 8 hours, whilst this gets me over 12 hours. This is the citrus woody cologne for men who really want to smell masculine, sexy, appealing, just a great freshie to wear as your signature all year round, especially good in the summertime. I know in the last video, some of you guys said you were blind buying Cedrat Boise Intense because of what I said. So if you have done that, please give us your initial thoughts or your final reviews in the comments down below as well. Now it's funny because this Dior fragrance, I'm putting it after the Cedrat Boise Intense because this is going to be very rare to find discounted, whilst Cedrat Boise or Mancera fragrances in general you can. However, you know, this is still easily worth the price. I usually mention Dior Homme Sport 2021. I was tempted to put it in this list, but I always talk about it, so let's use a different Dior fragrance instead, which I still think easily deserves a 10. Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. Anyone who's aged around 30 to 35 plus should absolutely consider this fragrance. This is one of the best mature fragrances out there in the fragrance game that does not get anywhere near enough credit. This is probably Dior's best fragrance in their main line designer fragrances. It takes a very simple concept of a fougere, simple lavender fragrance mixed with citruses, and then they warm it out and make it more sweet, balsamic with amber. And yet, even though it's so beautifully balanced and high quality smelling, it doesn't smell like it's only a summertime fragrance. It smells like it can be worn all year round. It is a beautiful signature. Not only do I feel like you get the niche quality from this blend, you also get a very good niche-like longevity. This is a very strong fragrance. This is rare for me to only need 2 sprays from a designer fragrance. You put 2 sprays on and this lasts easily over 10 hours with a medium to loud projection, which is kind of funny because I kind of feel like this is a very gentlemanly cologne, but it's definitely potent, so you need to go careful with the trigger here. If you like classical fougeres, but you want them brought into modern times and made timeless, this Eau Sauvage Parfum here does it perfectly. Beautiful, beautiful release. Some of you may know this man. I've talked about his fragrances in the past. This currently, in my opinion, is easily his best fragrance. No doubt about it. This is #1 from Terrence Hughes. And this is Hard Candy. I'm in the UK, so it's easier for me to get Aaron's fragrances, but try to get them if you can. Even if you get a 10 ml, if you want to just be convinced by my review, get a 10 ml, you'll see what I mean about this fragrance. Hard Candy, for me, even though it doesn't smell anything like it, it sort of reminds me of Creed Aventus. It reminds me of the 2010 era. It's sort of like it's transported you back to the new creativity of Creed Aventus. There was nothing else quite like it at the time, and I feel like this achieves the same thing, but it's obviously much more under the radar brand. Hard Candy takes a creative fruity DNA mixed with a lot of woodiness from oud underneath, heavy musks, and then also adds a nice strawberry note in here as well. Creamy strawberry with citruses and woody oud underneath. Clean, sweet, sensual. This works in the summertime, but I actually think this is an all-year signature in general. But I just think for the price you are paying, in fact, you're getting real oud. The creativity in here, this is for people who really want creativity, at the same time, ease of lovability. This is very easy to like. Everyone I've displayed and showed this fragrance to, I've loved this fragrance easily. This is not going to be something that someone will hate, but at the same time, you will feel like you've got a really high quality niche perfumery here with fantastic longevity. This is 12 hours plus with medium to loud projection. This is the culmination of Aaron's years of hard work, and it's really paid off here. As I said, this is easily his #1 scent right now. I told you guys I'm putting you onto brands that you may not appreciate that exist. This is a brand called Memoirs of a Perfume Collector, Tales from Zanzibar. Now, I don't know if this brand ships outside of the UK, but if you can get them, try to, guys. You have to try and get this fragrance. So I think this is £150. This is incredible value for money again. It's very difficult for a niche brand to make you think, wow, I'm getting a steal for the price, but I think that £150 is a steal for this price. This is a very dense, but at the same time light and refreshing summer fragrance that smells very niche and very different. This combines guava with metallic fuzzy notes mixed with oud, woody notes and musks. So it's very metallic, clean, fruity, woody. It's very different. The guava note just makes it stand out. And also, again, just like Hard Candy, it's very interesting having oud in a summertime fragrance, but it definitely works here. This is the most summery feeling out of the entire list in this video today, but I do think it has enough strength. I get maybe 10 hours longevity with a medium amount of projection. So I think the strength here makes it wearable in both spring, definitely, and you can still wear it in autumn time as well. Beautiful creation. This is art in a bottle. Xerjoff 40 knots had to be in this list. It absolutely needs to get your attention, this fragrance, because you can buy it for such a good price right now. I'm seeing it for like, what, £120 on some fragrance discount websites right now. This should be like over £200, this fragrance. I don't think anyone's gonna say this fragrance smells cheap. What I think has happened is that Xerjoff, when they presented this fragrance to a lot of lay people wanted to appreciate this. I think us fragrance fanatics will. It's not a fragrance you smother your nose up close to, you appreciate it more as a sillage. I actually didn't like this fragrance when I first bought it. I blind bought this as well, by the way, and I was disappointed initially. However, this grew on me and it got me more compliments. It showed me its insane performance, over 12 hours for a salty summer aquatic freshie with a woody undertone underneath, with an ambery finish as well. So this is a salty aquatic amber. The creativity is off the charts, it smells really luxurious, fantastic performance as well, high compliment factor, and the price, as I said, is a steal. This is why you keep seeing me mention this fragrance over and over again, and in my opinion, the freshness and the warmth from the amber balance itself out so nicely that this can be worn as an all-year signature if you just want compliments. Probably one of my for life fragrances, honestly, in general. And this last one is a fragrance I'm absolutely addicted to right now. I've been addicted to it since last year when I got a sample of it, and then I said to myself, as soon as summer comes around again, I'm buying it full retail. I went to the Roja shop in Burlington Arcade itself, and I got this, Roja's Burlington 1819. I haven't always been the kindest to Roja's creations. I've, criticized them in the past, but when I do connect to some of his fragrances, I really think they hit. And this is one of the best perfumes I've ever smelled in my life. If I had to explain Burlington 1819, is first of all, it's very fresh, but at the same time, beastly. This is a rich man's orange scent, is how I would describe it. It's very complex, like Roja's stuff is, very natural. It's got Roja's unique blends of a lot of ingredients here, like aromatic mint, orange, of course, ambers, rum. So it smells like an ambery, warm, spicy, aromatic orange. It smells extremely complex. One person, when they smelled this on me, said this smells like wealth. And I think that's a very good summary of this. This smells like a rich man's fragrance. Fair enough if you're spending this price. You get 12 hours longevity with a medium amount projection. This grabs people's attention. This smells extremely sexy. This smells extremely wealthy. And I honestly think this is one of the best fragrances ever created of all time. So I'm really happy with what Roja's done here. I literally will test other fragrances for videos or for my own brand throughout the day. And then before I go to sleep, I just sneak a little spray of this because I'm absolutely addicted. I just have to wear it for myself more than anyone else. And that concludes this video, guys. I know it's not always the most mainstream of brands, including these kind of videos, but that's because these are 10 out of 10. So they're very much under the radar, but hopefully I gave you a good range of good value fragrances and the more expensive fragrances. Do you guys agree or disagree with some of the choices I gave today? And what other fragrances do you insist that are for summertime also deserve a 10 out of 10 score, bearing in mind the criteria I mentioned in the beginning of this video? Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out our other videos on summer fragrances. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.